Electric Fire 2 Hidden Chains Chapter 23.
Looking back all my life now, it seemed I've been living in fear since the day Gerald saw me as a failed experiment. But for some reason, I feel comfortable being here with Sonic. I felt comfortable enough to hug him. For the longest time, nothing was said, just embraced. It was kinda nice actually. Sonic seemed to like hugs well more than I did. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about them myself. I just have mixed emotions at the moment. I mean, I still didn't exactly remember much about my life before this. And well, I don't think I've been embraced like this before. Something inside says I am to be feared and hated, but yet I don't act upon those voices. That voice inside me doesn't feel like my own. What I really want is to be accepted. I don't want to be seen as some kind of weapon that needs to be controlled or even contained. A living weapon is only half of who I am. Unlike an actual weapon, I am free to make my own choices. Others had used me for their own plans before. Like here with Sonic, Tom, and Maddie, they don't seem to see me as just a weapon that they could use to their advantage. Sonic also seems to be like me. I mean, he has lightning powers along with super speed, but I can cause a blast and make spears from nothing. I could keep up with Sonic even at top speed thanks to my shoes though. No one here thinks I'm a danger, though I put them through a lot. I feel terrible for that mess I caused. They are the only ones I can trust right now, and I really don't want to make things more worse for Sonic. At least we have time to come up with a plan now, and leaving here isn't an option for either of us at the moment. With Robotnik and the robotic clones of us, this wasn't going to be easier for either of us. Once the embrace had been broken, we both just sat on the bed for a while. Neither of us said anything for the longest time. It was a bit unusual for the other hedgehog. I remember him being a bit more hyper, but since I had come back, things had changed, it seemed. He wasn't as energetic as I remember him being. I felt maybe that was my fault. I guess I didn't think that plan through. Thinking I really was gone forever must have traumatized him in some way. I sighed a bit. He just looked at me in concern for a moment. He looked like he wanted to say something but couldn't find the words. "I'm fine, Sonic," I said to try and reassure him. This was also something I wasn't used to. I mean, back on the Ark, I don't remember anyone aside from Maria who actually cared about me. I mean, the tests and experiments I had to go through weren't exactly easy. I don't remember Gerald looking concerned for me if I flinched or let out a growl of annoyance. I was brought out of my thoughts as I felt a hand patting me on the back. No one else was in the room, just me and Sonic. I looked at him and smiled a little. "Thanks. I guess I needed that." Sonic looked back at me after I spoke.
You look like you were in deep thought there. Are you sure you're okay?
Well, I guess there's no backing out now. Guess I have to say something. Just trying to remember stuff about my past is all. So far, I just get the memories from when I was seen as a failure. I can't seem to remember much else, not even to when I first awoke. I'd like to visit the Ark one last time, though I mean, in order to find answers. But I feel like Gerald would have gotten rid of anything that made me sound less threatening. I mean, he was the one to ask for Gun to come to the Ark and destroy me. This has been bothering me for a while since I came back. I'm grateful that you told me what you knew, but I wish I had told you everything. I ended up breaking down a bit. I didn't cry though, but I was just hit with a wave of emotion after telling Sonic all of that. Sonic got up, not saying anything. I could tell he had something on his mind. He went for his pack of rings.
Well, if you feel like going to the Ark and find the answers you need, then we should probably go. Gonna run after us now. So we don't have anything to worry about. So we can take our time and look for the answers you need.
Sonic then handed me one of the 2 gold rings he had left. It felt wrong to be using Longclaw's rings like this, but this felt important to me. But aren't these a one-time use only? I asked. And then
Alright, I forgot to mention that Tails fixed them so they could be used multiple times. So are you in or not? A waiter should probably write Tom and Matt a note before we head out. I mean, we could be there for who knows how long.
Sonic went to get a piece of paper. I thought about just going on my own, but then again, I could use Sonic's help. I didn't exactly know what I was looking for. I guess really anything, like Gerald's notes, maybe some discs, or maybe Maria's diary if she kept one. Anything that could give me the answers I do desperately need. Letting go of one's past is no easy task, even when you can't remember much, only what's been told. I watched as Sonic wrote the note. He showed it to me when he was done. It read, "Dear Tom and Maddie, me and Shadow decide to go off and look for answers to Shadow's past. I don't know when we'll be back. It might be a day or a couple of hours." It sounded good enough to me. He set it down on the bed. I wasn't exactly sure how these rings worked. I remember Sonic saying that he had to think of a place to go to and then throw the ring. So my first thought of the Ark was the lab. It was the only room I remembered. I believe it was the last one me and Sonic were in before we battled the Bio Lizard. So I dropped the ring, and there it was, a portal to the Ark's lab. Sonic went in first. I followed after him, and it wasn't long after I jumped in that the portal gave out. But then me and Sonic heard something metallic fall onto the floors. We followed the sound, and it was the ring we had used.
Well, it worked.
Sonic exclaimed as he picked it up. He didn't have his bag with him though, so he just slipped it into his glove. And well, we were off on a mission. We decided to split up. It would be easier to find more that way, I thought, since the Ark was pretty big.